Hello, I'm Chip Bridges, and it's an honor for me to share some information with you about the possibilities to teach agricultural education. You know, there's still a high demand for quality agricultural education teachers in our state. The starting salary is not bad either. A beginning teacher with a 4-year degree in agricultural education can earn in excess of $40,000 a year. A beginning teacher with a master's degree will earn over $50,000 a year in their first year. Now, that's quite impressive. There's also job security in teaching agricultural education. You're about to hear from a few of our agricultural education teachers in Georgia to explain a little more about the benefits of becoming an agricultural education teacher.
I became an agriculture education teacher, number one, for my desire and love of education, and then also, too, I was introduced to this in high school for my ag teacher, and just the opportunities and impact that that had in my life. I knew that I wanted to continue that for the future youth that we have.
I became an agricultural education teacher because of the experiences I had had growing up. Outside of the classroom was where my growth took place, whether it was through summer camps, through competition teams, through having an adult mentor that stood as an example for what I could grow up to be. And I would like to be that for the students I teach.
I feel as though we need agriculture education teachers so that we can educate not only our students, but their parents. A lot of the students that I have in my classroom, whenever they go home and tell their parents about what they learned in my class, their parents do not understand where their cut of meat came from or the eggs in the grocery store came from. So I feel like we need agriculture education not just for our future generation, but for the one who is here now.
I became an ag teacher because I love education. I was not an FFA in high school. That was a missed opportunity. I became an ag teacher so that I can ensure that my kids don't have missed opportunities.
First and foremost, I think we need ag education teachers because we need agriculture to sustain our growing population. We also need agricultural education teachers because we need the FFA and we need our students to learn those leadership skills, those people skills, how to run a business meeting, how to keep records, and those sorts of things because our students are going to be our leaders in the future.
I have students working at the Georgia Aquarium to understand marine and wildlife management as well as biology and aquatics. I have students that do own their own horses but don't have them at their home, rather at local community stables where they participate in their time. And I also have students that are very active in community gardens and local farmers markets.
The community that I live in used to be mostly agriculture. Effingham County is one of the fastest growing communities in the nation, so we've had a lot of people move in there. There's been a lot of subdivisions built on places that were once farmland, so the whole agricultural education department had to change whenever the population changed.
I work in a very rich agriculture community. My school is Madison County High School, where we have 2 other agriculture teachers at the high school, as well as a middle school program and a young farmer program. The students that I teach are diverse. However, the majority of them do come from the farm. The other half of my students, however, come from the Athens area. Their parents live in Madison County and they are interested in ag, but they are not in production agriculture like the other half of my students are.
A typical day for me as an agriculture education teacher begins with me teaching 6 courses. It ranges in content from animal science to ag mechanics to horticulture, and then following school we can take a variety of different topics on, supervise agriculture experience projects with students, working with livestock animals, up into going and making industry visits and contacts within the community.
I'm there early, I'm there late, I'm there when they need me for advice on the job they've recently taken, when they need advice on something outside of the normal framework of what they see as school.
My favorite part about being an ag teacher is getting my students involved in the FFA. I'm very competitive and I always like to win, and so I like to get my students involved. I like for them to catch my competitive spirit and for them to strive to be the best that they can be, whether it's at livestock judging or public speaking or parliamentary procedure.
What I enjoy the most about being an agriculture education teacher is my students. They are my cheerleaders. They're the ones that I enjoy seeing every single day. It is inspiring to me to watch their face light up whenever we plug in their wiring problem and it works and the light bulb comes on. It is awesome for me to see them succeed at something that they have poured their heart into, like a proficiency area or a CDE that they're trying to compete in and win.
It is fun to be an ag teacher. Our students are always engaged and they get a lot out of our classes. It's hands-on, it's not just classroom experience, it's really fun.
You've got to be a good classroom teacher to start off with. Then you have to get to know that student and help them as you're at their homes doing supervision. And FFA, probably everybody's favorite part, where you get to go compete, and that's what makes the job fun.
If I were giving advice to students today, maybe not in a traditional track, to become an agriculture education teacher, maybe that have not had a lot of experience on a farm, would be that if you have a desire and a want to help students and you're interested in agriculture, that you can succeed in this profession.
If you are considering agriculture education as a profession, I would encourage you to be as involved as possible in your local agriculture program. Do every CDE that you possibly can. Go on every trip that you possibly can, because if you don't, you're going to miss out on an opportunity that will benefit you in your teaching whenever you become an agriculture teacher.
Brace yourself and prepare for the ride. As a new ag teacher, you need to be prepared every day. You're going to work long hours. Think about FFA Creed. I believe. Believe in yourself, believe in your students, and believe in the future of all ag teachers, because you can make a difference.
The advice I would offer anyone considering an agricultural education career is to maximize the opportunities they have before them. As an FFA member and student, I would encourage those young people to get fully involved in the FFA, take advantage of every opportunity. Continue to work hard in college as an ag ed major, involve yourselves in the student organization there at college, and particularly become involved while you're doing your student or apprentice teaching. There are a lot of enjoyable things about teaching ag. I don't think there is a greater profession than the call to become an agricultural education teacher. But without any doubt, that opportunity to work one-on-one with a student and provide some instruction, some help, and maybe some character education that would change their life, nothing is more rewarding than that.
Ag education is not a job, it's a way of life.
What I enjoy most about being an agriculture education teacher are the bonds that I get to create with my students. They're definitely lasting ones that are different from any other teacher in the school building. The legacy that I hope for myself at the end of my career as an ag teacher is that I can say that I truly lived the last line of the FFA motto, living to serve, because that's what I always try to keep in my mind and heart every day as an ag teacher, who I'm serving, and that's my students.
You won't be able to look at yourself in the mirror and say, what have I done for myself today? But where the rewards will come are when the students come back 4, 5, and 10 years down the road and are able to tell you the change that you made in their life.
I want to help my students do the same thing. I want to help them, find their passion, achieve their goals, and live their dreams.
Students are the most important part of being an ag teacher to me. When the students succeed, you get to enjoy that success. And when they don't meet the standard that they have put forth for themselves, you're there to help them get back up, dust yourself off, and move on to maybe bigger and better things.
Well, the demand for agricultural education teachers has never been greater than it is today. As school administrators and other community leaders realize the value of education, they're opening new programs, they're expanding programs, and we're seeing an unprecedented growth in agricultural education.